Fanatics has said they're going to shake up the hobby, and I think Topps Series 1 is the first taste of things to come. I'm ready to give you my honest thoughts. Let's data dive. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Data Dive powered by Market Movers. My name is Tyler Nethercott, better known as Teapot. And this week, first things first, I completely forgot in the last episode last Saturday that Xander Bogaerts had moved to the San Diego Padres and was no longer on the Red Sox. That's a mea culpa. Mistakes were made. I spent this week thinking about this grievous error, and I promised to try to be better for all of you. And this week I specifically want to talk about baseball again and Topps Series 1, the flagship product. Boy, is there a lot to unpack with it this year. I've been taking a few weeks processing, doing a little ripping, some price tracking, and some print run calculating, and I'm ready to dive into it. As always, this video is brought to you by Market Movers, now featuring the entire base parallel checklist for all the key rookies and Mike Trout, plus the entire 330 player golden mirror image variation checklist. Visit marketmoversapp.com and use promo code DIVE for your first 7 days free. Now let's get into the data. All right, so I'm gonna basically walk you through the things that I like and the things that I don't like about Topps Series 1 this year. So the things that I like and don't like, first off, a very strong, relatively strong rookie class, at least right now. We never know how these guys are gonna pan out, but right now it seems deep. Maybe it lacks the superstar power, some would say, like a J-Rod or a Wander Franco, although we're gonna see in the data that Adley Rutschman's prices and Gunnar Henderson and a few of the other guys, Michael Harris, they're not doing too poorly on their prices. So let's jump into Market Movers and just take a look. I'm on the price movements page here, price movements, and you can see I've basically put in baseball 2023, raw, Topps, gold, just to get a sense of which players are selling for what prices. And I can see we've got Adley Rutschman, we've got Gunnar Henderson, Michael Harris, and then you kind of get it down into this like $20 to $40 range. You've got Miguel Vargas, Riley Green, who I'm really hoping will play well this year for my Tigers. Nolan Gorman, who I think is kind of a sleeper a little bit, even though he's selling for around $30. He's a guy, in my opinion, who could have some real potential. Tristan Casas, I believe is how his last name. I always want to bring out my Michigan A, Casas, but I believe it's Tristan Casas. Vaughn Grissom, Brett Beatty. We got Mike Trout in here. Any Trout's a good Trout, as Brett from Step in the Box would say. Oswald Peraza, Vinny Pasquantino, Hunter Brown, Oscar Gonzalez, Shea Langeliers, Peguero, and Gabriel Moreno. All these cards now in here, not just for the golds, but also for all of their other base parallels in the set. Now, how do these prices stack up? And this is new, right? So everything that comes out that's new is always gonna be selling for more money. How do these stack up against some of the other rookies in recent years? You can see J-Rod, raw, selling for $303 most recently. Then you've got Wander Franco at $110 for his gold raw. And if we get down, then you've got Rutschman right there with Wander Franco. So that's a good question, right? Are you still on Wander Mania? Are you off Wander and on to Adley Rutschman? Who do you think is the better buy long-term or going forward? Who's gonna have a better season this year? Gunnar Henderson here. And it's funny because I've seen Gunnar Henderson and Rutschman's prices actually on the specific different cards kind of interchanging over the last few weeks. Rutschman definitely selling for a little bit more in most cases. But again, I'm seeing some of that ebb and flow. We put a poll on our Market Movers Instagram account asking you kind of which one would you rather have, Rutschman or Gunnar Henderson. So make sure to check out that poll. We've got Bobby Witt Jr., obviously. He had a solid season last year. He didn't light the world on fire, but he definitely showed some flashes. People still very high on him. Personally, between Bobby Witt Jr. and Michael Harris, if I'm picking one of these two guys, I think Harris is the better player personally. He showed me more last season. He had a fantastic rookie season, winning the NL Rookie of the Year. And he had an awesome WAR. Plus he plays for the Braves, who tend to just get more attention, have a deeper team, better chance of winning than the Royals do right now. And you can kind of go down the list and just see how some of these prices intermingle. Surprising to me here to see Jeremy Pena. His stuff has come down a little bit since the World Series, but $37.50, I know he was kind of a Cinderella story in many ways, but seeing him way down here and seeing some of these other guys, like for example, O'Neal Cruz, I know people really like him, but so far Pena has showed me a lot more than O'Neal Cruz. So that's kind of some of the other prices relative to this rookie class. Now, one thing that we can do is we can come over here and we can look at Another parallel, the Memorial Day camo to 25, just again for comparison's sake, and see some really interesting data. So the last time that Wander Franco sold raw on his Memorial Day camo was April 14th of last year. So it's been, a little under a year, 10 months, basically 11 months since this card sold. That was basically when Series 1 came out last year. It was super hot. It was Wander Mania, obviously, and that card sold for 3.9K. Now we've got Ronald Acuna having sold 3 months ago, raw, for 2.6K, and then Gunnar Henderson here at 1.3K. So it's interesting to see the comparison point between Adley Rutschman and Wander Franco on the golds to 20, to the year number, serial number, and then to compare this and say, wow, a year ago, Wander was way up there. So the hype was definitely much higher on Wander than it is on Rutschman or Gunnar Henderson right now. What do you think of this? This is kind of a cautionary tale in many ways. I know Wander didn't play well last year and was injured some of the season. The mystique definitely wore off on him. But are you worried? Would you be buying these cards? Would you be buying a Gunnar Henderson camo right now for 1.8K for a guy who hasn't shown anything yet, who hasn't proven anything yet? A lot of downside, but potentially a ton of upside too if he plays really well. So let's jump back into the other things that I like and don't like. Topps, in my opinion, really pretty significantly stepped up their insert game this year. That's always been my one knock on the Topps products, on the flagship products, is that some of the inserts just don't move the needle. And there are a few of those this year that still are that way for me. But if we get into this All Aces insert set has been extremely popular. People really big fans of this. And I'll say the images do not do it justice. Once you get one of these in hand, they feel really nice. They have a really nice rainbow foil refraction. And the back is just this very cool, clean, nothing going on other than like a trading card back. This is the numbered version to 75, so there are some different serial numbered parallels, but I think this is a really, really thoughtful and cool insert set. I hope they don't abuse this in the future. I like the creativity. It'd be nice to see them kind of recycle these things and not just keep doing them over and over again if they're popular. Now, there's this other set, and these are pretty rare, the AKA, also known as set. A couple of them are good, the rest of them not so good. This one in particular, I think really, really, really cool. La Bestia for Ronald Acuna Jr., the Beast. You've got Aaron Judge, All Rise. I like this one, but then you get into these ones. Toothpaste and toothbrushes on a card, Mr. Smile for Francisco Lindor. I wouldn't be too excited if I hit one of these, which are pretty tough to pull out of a pack, and it had toothpaste on it. Same thing on the Trout here. Obviously, it's a Mike Trout card, which is great, but they've got comets coming in, asteroids. This, I don't know. This just looks kind of plain to me. It kind of looks like a Trapper Keeper from the 90s to me. Imagine if you had a card like this, an insert set that had like lenticular, like the John Balayas did back in the day, with that type of effect coming in. That'd be really cool. These couple really didn't do it for me, and there's some others that aren't particularly fantastic. I really do like the heavy lumber set. This feels very 90s to me, and I obviously really appreciate that. Very, very cool looking cards. And then the Home Field Advantage are back this year, which were a fan favorite, kind of the, as people call them, the copycat downtowns. Now, when we look at the pack odds situation, Hobby and Jumbo, they have more hits this year. I like that direction. I might be in a minority, or that's kind of a controversial thing. I do think that they went too far. Now, I've said this in the past. I said it recently on a Cards on the Table episode, that I think if you're gonna pay the money to buy a hobby box, to buy a jumbo box, that your odds of hitting the significant cards should be better. You're putting more money in, you should get a better odds and a better opportunity to hit a good card. I do like that they put, most or all of the different inserts and parallels into the retail offering. This was like a 180. We go from Topps Update last year, 2022 Topps Update, where hangers are bangers, significantly better pack odds in hanger boxes to hit awesome cards than in Hobby and in Jumbo for sure. And they flipped it this year to where Jumbos are where everybody's getting the big hits. That's really the only box offering I've seen out of this product where people are getting good cards consistently. Everything else has been really, really brutal. So if you want specific information, I'm not gonna get into all the data. If you want pack out and print run data, there are tons of good videos right now, 5 that I've seen that come to mind. Scotty B. Cards did his. He always talks about the print runs and things. Step in the Box had a little commentary where he was just expressing frustration because If you know Brett, he rips a lot of retail. He's ripping retail almost every night historically of Topps flagship products of Bowman Chrome, etc. And he's like, retail seems like basically not worth it. Now, he's been ripping a lot of jumbos. He had a really, really awesome box that he pulled this week, had a lot of good hits, but he kind of just had some funny commentary on it. Striker Breaks always does these awesome, fantastic, really well done breakdowns, very comprehensive, showing you the cost per card and your odds and which he kind of color codes the whole thing. Really well done videos. Go check that one out. This is a brand new account, Dumb Mime. He came out, 22 subscribers right now. I'm one of them. I was actually pointed to this video by ERB Sports and Step in the Box. And he basically shows all this data on one screen. And this is kind of a summary of it. Hobby boxes estimated at 150,000 hobby boxes in existence. Jumbo boxes, over 80,000. Blaster boxes, 1 million. Hanger boxes, tough to determine the exact number, but he estimates using this, and he walks through the whole thing just on one screen, a lot of numbers. Base print run estimated for the base paper cards for each card at 1.33 million base cards. So those Adley Rutschman cards, those Mike Trouts, those Aaron Judges, some of those base paper cards I'm seeing sell for like $1. Very interesting. You could go and buy a box, any box, and be almost guaranteed to get a Trout or a Judge or any of these cards. I think the value of them should be a little less than $1, but obviously that'll probably cool down. Now, I don't actually think that this print run for the base paper set is necessarily a bad thing. Do I personally like getting tons and tons and tons of cards? Not always. Sometimes I like, I don't know what to do with them. I'm not really a big complete set chaser. But this is a flagship product. This is sort of, it's like an entry-level product with a lot of big chases that high-end collectors all the way down to, kids just getting into the hobby can appreciate. And so being able to pull those key rookie cards, put them in your binder or have them top-loaded in a little shoebox, that's not such a bad thing to me. I like that you can actually get the key rookies, and then you have the meaningful parallels, which have more value. Now, I opened 3 hobby boxes myself. I pre-ordered, and I was debating hobby or jumbo, hobby or jumbo. I was like, do I get 2 jumbos or 4 hobbies and have a little more flexibility in terms of what I want to open? That was before I knew anything about the pack odds or anything about the hit rates, or I would definitely hit the undo button and go back and buy jumbos. I opened 3 hobby boxes. The first one, Adley Rutschman, Home Field Advantage. That was a big hit. Really excited about that one. And a really cool Ozzie Smith gold auto numbered to 50. And then really nothing else. I should have stopped there. Box 2, totally got crushed, got nothing. Box 3, totally crushed, got nothing. And when I say got nothing, I mean I got nothing. Like really, really bad. Like I probably got $10 worth of value out of each of those boxes if I were to sell everything. In total, I think I got 8 rainbow foils between 3 boxes. I got 2 advanced stats to 300 of nobody good. I didn't get any golds, no golds, no other parallel. I got 1 maybe rainbow foil, one of the red foils to 499 or whatever those are numbered to, of somebody inconsequential. I really did not get anything from the rest of these boxes. So that's kind of disappointing. And that's what I mean. I think the balance, I've watched a lot of jumbo boxes open. I have yet to see a jumbo box where somebody doesn't hit something halfway decent and you're guaranteed an auto out of the jumbo. Hobby this year, you're not. You're getting a mem or an auto, and it's kind of a flip a coin. So in my opinion, jumbo, 2 stacked. Hobby is spotty, and retail is very, very, very brutal. What's my solution to this? I think that every box offering should have specific chases which are desirable, sought after, and attainable, okay? So jumbo has gold foil. That's another benefit of jumbo. You're opening jumbo and getting a gold foil like every other pack, right? Maybe there should be also like a jumbo specific parallel. That's more rare. Hobby right now has the blacks to 67 or 72. I forget what they're numbered to this year. And they have the clears to 10. Retail, this is where I think retail should really have a retail exclusive. And maybe those home field advantage cards would be the best, ones to put into retail to create a chase, keep them out of hobby, give something to get really excited about in the retail offering. Maybe the vintage stock, although people aren't particularly enthusiastic about those. I will tell you that the retail blues, in my opinion, not really cutting it. So let's talk about the big change, maybe the biggest change. Short print image variations. These have been a staple of flagship Topps. You've got the SPs, the SSPs. Everybody knows Ronald Acuna's bat down SSP rookie. They changed it up. Topps really shook it up this year. No longer limited to a specific set, but instead you've got all of the players on the entire checklist now. 330 players, all with they're putting SSP on it. It's somewhere between SP and SSP. Gold mirror image variation cards, okay? What do I like about this? You flip the card over in big bold letters, SSP. It has a gold border, it has gold foil on the front of the card. There's no mistaking that you pulled one of these cards, especially if you're flipping through it. You don't need your magnifying glass or your spectacles anymore to look at the little code on the back of the card. As fun as that was to feel like you had some kind of secret info to find cards that somebody might have missed, it was actually kind of a big pain. So I really think that's a big improvement. Dislike, I don't particularly like that the entire checklist is part of this. I still think it should be a subset. The clear to 10, for example, that's not the whole checklist. That would be a better candidate for the whole checklist from my perspective, but I actually like that they reduce it down, and they should have done the same thing with this. I don't particularly like that they have 330 of these. They have the team cards, they have the league leaders, they have the, all the different parallels, all the different, sort of subsets within the checklist, and just a lot of players who, why would you be particularly interested in that? It's fine to have it on the base checklist, but nobody's going to be really going after these in a big time way. So when it comes to the golden mirror image variations, now in a different video, some of these guys all talked about it, but Striker Breaks in this video in particular broke it down and estimated that the print run was at around 150 on these. I put this into a little sheet here, into a little table, and show kind of the different box formats, how many cards per pack, and then the odds of hitting a golden mirror image variation. And it's basically 1 in 4.6 boxes of jumbo, or 2,000 cards, and then the numbers get really staggering. So I opened 3 boxes of hobby. I did not hit one of these cards. It's 1 in 19 boxes, 1 in 19 hobby boxes to hit one of these. And again, bear in mind, there's roughly 150 of these. So it's not like this is a number to 50, number to 25, super hard to hit. 330 of these times 150 print run, and you're still at these pack and card odds, so to speak, to hit one. You'd have to open 194 blaster boxes on average to hit one of these cards. I mean, that's pretty tricky. So let's get into some data here. Now, one thing of note, Blowout Cards, this big headline, offers $1 million golden bounty for 2023 Topps MLB, and it gets into the story here. Basically, they're saying they will pay $250,000 for the first complete set of all 330 of these golden mirror image variations. And then between now and next year, basically over the next year, they say they will offer $1 million for the complete set of them graded in a PSA 10 condition. Very, very, very interesting. Is this a marketing gimmick? Is this something with Fanatics working with Blowout Cards to try to generate buzz around this? It's super smart. I'd say it's super smart in terms of the marketing aspect of it. I'd also say don't get caught into it, don't get sucked into it. Let's look at some of the data around these golden mirror image variation cards. And if I pull them up, here's Julio Rodriguez. Granted, not a rookie card, second year Julio Rodriguez, right? $850 for a raw golden mirror image variation, numbered print run to 150. This is not a number to 1, number to 10, number to 25. This is about 150 of these theoretically in existence. $850. Michael Harris Jr., $725. Riley Green, $550. So what could you get for $850? Let's jump over and look, for example, well, actually, let's look at Shohei Ohtani. I pulled up a different example here. Ohtani's golden mirror image variation, again, not a rookie card, sold for $350. These are the other cards that you could get for Ohtani for $350. You could get his short printed rookie warm-up PSA 10 warm-up shirt for the same price. Granted, pop $259, so higher print run, but we're talking about a rookie image variation short print in a PSA 10 condition. You could get his pink refractor. You could get his gold pop 98 in a PSA 9. Obviously, you've got the PSA 10s higher than that as well, and you could get the sepia refractor. So just an example, if you're thinking about this, Cool photo of Ohtani definitely turning around, celebrating. Somebody probably made an awesome defensive play behind him. That's what you could get when you're comparing these. Take another example. And here's the J-Rod, for example, right? $850. Would you rather have a raw golden mirror image variation, print run 150 of Julio Rodriguez, or would you rather have his extended short print Topps Chrome PSA 9, Pop 47 so far, for about $50 more? I'm going with the short print J-Rod. Rookie card, graded every single time. That $850 price point just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, let's jump back and pivot here. Let's look into kind of all the sales so far in this set for the clears, for the camos, basically the highest sales so far since Topps Series 1 has been released. And one thing stands out to me here, Mike Trout is still king. Mike Trout is not a rookie. Mike Trout, if you compare his card sales to other sports, LeBron James is not outselling the top rookies every year in the NBA when it comes to parallels. He's just not. Like the top rookies are going to outsell LeBron James. So when you've got, obviously Luka Doncic, but any of the top 2 lottery picks, those types of players, take their gold prism, for example, to 10, they're going to outsell LeBron. LeBron collectors really want those to 10. But Trout, one thing I've seen is that his highest end cards in different sets consistently sell for more than some of the key rookies over the years. So just really interesting phenomenon. People worry about Mike Trout and his value long term. I don't personally, because I think there's so many people with money invested in Trout who appreciate how good he's been. I think the risk is pretty minimal, save some massive scandal or character flaw that would happen with him. Gunnar Henderson, clear at 1.9K. Gunnar Henderson Memorial Day camo at 1.83K. Much, much, much better buy, in my opinion. Not saying this is a good buy, but a much better buy on the clear for, slightly more than the camo. These things probably sold, one day after the other, but I would not have paid up for the camo that significantly when the clear sold for 1.9K. So again, what could you get for these prices? I'm going to shift over here and go into here and say, okay, between $1,750 and $2,000. So I'm going back to that Gunnar Henderson. What else could my money buy me? And let's just scroll down and take a look. And some of these things, I always like to do this. This might just stand out to you. You've got Tom Brady rookie cards. You've got a Carmelo Black refractor. You've got Jackie Robinson. You've got this awesome Kobe. I really, really like that Kobe Rising Stars. I almost had an opportunity to buy a PSA 10 a year ago, but it didn't work out. Continuing to scroll down, you've got Jordan. You've got the Ted Williams play ball. You've got Kylian Mbappe. Tons of options, tons and tons and tons of options. Even if I throw the filter of baseball on this data set, there's still lots of other cards. Most of them, if not all of them, graded. There's the Julio and a PSA 10. Really interesting to consider. And let's take that Julio and jump over here and look and say, which of these cards do you think will be worth more a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Love these comparisons, love the opportunity cost conversation. You've got the J-Rod PSA 10 right here. Last sold for just under 2K. PSA 10 Pop 59, the Topps Chrome extended short print. You've got Sandy Koufax in a PSA 5. You've got Mickey Mantle in an SGC 1 on the 1953 Topps. And then you've got Gunnar Henderson's Memorial Day camo to 25. You could put the clear in there too, right? Which one of these cards do you think will be the best buy? Right now, I have to say that Gunnar Henderson is the worst buy of these 4, personally. I just haven't seen enough from him. J-Rod showed some amazing things, and he's got some real buzz behind him. The Koufax, it's a great card. There's a ton of these, and there's more, a ton of these. There's more graded higher. I'd probably go for the J-Rod first, for the upside, personally. Then I'd go Mantle, and then maybe coin flip between the Koufax and the Gunnar Henderson, depending on what you're trying to do with it. But really interesting comparison to look at, in my opinion. This is how I love to think about things. Before you pull the trigger on buying any card, I always encourage you to get out your phone or get on your computer, go to price movements, put in a price range like I did here, and just, say, what else could my money buy me? What else is here? What else has sold recently? What else could I buy? Go to the deals page and look for things, or go out to eBay, any other marketplace, and look for those options. Overall, I will say I really like the direction that Fanatics and Topps is taking with this year's releases. We talked on Thursday on Cards on the Table about some other big announcements that were made earlier in the week at the industry conference. It's very encouraging to me. I like the idea of growth, of more people in the hobby. I'm not an exclusivist. I don't have terribly strong opinions about how others should collect. I do have opinions about what I believe will hold value long term, and I do try to talk about that. So I think you need to watch out right now with these prices, especially on the gold and mirror image variations. What do you think of all of this? Are the print runs too high? Are the pack odds too weak? Should hangers be bangers and the rest can be hefty like it was with Update? Let me know down in the comments what you think. And as always, if you want to get this data, visit marketmoversapp.com. Use the promo code DIVE to get the first 7 days free. Leave me a thumbs up down below if you would. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy investing, keep on collecting, and make sure to have fun.